would have gone right past it his first time out here. A woman with wild, dark red hair ducked under the low-hanging branches of a gnarly tree. Ambling next to her in the shallow water was, indeed, a big black dog. The woman looked straight at Scoop, and even in the gray light, he saw that she had bright blue eyes and freckles, a lot of freckles. She was slim and angular, her hair down to her shoulders, damp and tangled. She continued toward him, the dog staying close to her. She didn't seem particularly taken aback by finding a man standing in the doorway of the remote ruin. Scoop wouldn't blame her if she did. Even before the bomb blast, he had looked, according to friends and enemies alike, ferocious with his thick build, shaved head, and general take-no-prisoners demeanor. For sure, no one would mistake him for a leprechaun or a fairy prince. Her left foot sank into a soft spot and almost ended up in the water. Mud stains came to the top of her wellies. "I saw footprints back there," she said cheerfully, pointing a slender hand in the direction she'd just come. "Since I've never run into a cow or a sheep that wears size 12 shoes, I figured someone else was out here. A fine day for a walk, isn't it?" "It is," Scoop said. "I don't mind the outbreaks of rain." She tilted her head back, letting the mist collect on her face a moment, then smiled at him. "I don't do well in the sun." Scoop stepped down from the threshold and nodded to the dog, still panting at her side. "Yours?" "No, but he's a sweetheart. I suppose he could be aggressive if he or someone he cared about felt threatened." "A warning?" Scoop noticed she wore a rain jacket the same shade of blue as her eyes and held an iPhone in one hand, perhaps keeping it available in case she needed to call for help. It would be easy to think it was still 1900 in this part of Ireland, but that would be a mistake. For one thing, the area had decent cell phone coverage. "Looks as if you two have bonded." "I think we have indeed." She slipped the iPhone into a jacket pocket. "You're the detective who saved that girl's life when the bomb went off at your house in Boston last month. Wisdom, right? Detective Cyrus Wisdom?" He was instantly on alert, but he kept his voice even. "Most people call me Scoop. And you would be—" "Sophie Malone." "We have friends in common," she said, easing past him to the ruin. The dog stayed by the stream. "I'm from Boston originally. I'm an archaeologist." "What kind of archaeologist?" She smiled. "The barely employed kind. You're in Ireland to recuperate? I heard you were hurt pretty badly." "I ended up here after attending a friend's wedding in Scotland a few weeks ago." "Abigail Browning's wedding. She's the detective who was kidnapped when the bomb went off." "I know who she is." Sophie Malone seemed unfazed by his response. Abigail was still on her extended honeymoon with Owen Garrison, an international search and rescue expert with roots in Boston, Texas, and Maine. Will Davenport had offered them his house in the Scottish Highlands for their long-awaited wedding, and they'd accepted, quickly gathering family and friends together in early September. Scoop, just out of the hospital, had had no intention of missing the ceremony. "Wasn't it too soon for you to fly, given your injuries?" Sophie asked. "I got through it." She studied him, her expression suggesting a focused, intelligent mind. He had on a sweatshirt and jeans, but she'd be able to see one of his uglier scars, a purple gash that started under his right ear and snaked around the back of his head. Finally, she said, "It must be hard not to be in Boston with the various ongoing investigations. You have all the bad guys, though, right? They're either dead or under arrest." "I thought you said you were an archaeologist. How do you know all this?" "I keep up with the news." That, Scoop decided, wasn't the entire truth. He was very good, one of the best in the Boston Police Department, at detecting lies and deception. And if Sophie Malone wasn't exactly lying, she wasn't exactly telling the truth either. She placed her hand on the rough, gray stone of the ruin. "You know Kira Sullivan, don't you?"